Okay.
Hello, guys. That was so long.
Kari.
Again.
Oh yeah, I'll start it. Welcome back to our podcast.
Episode.
Finding. Do you want to start?
No, fine.
No, you can start.
You can do it.
Rewind.
Welcome.
Should we do?
Welcome back to our podcast called Finding Adulthood, episode 4 with Prats. This is her second time coming on. First time we recorded one, we had problems, and another time on the same day we recorded another one, and then there were audio issues. So we're here again to try and start over. So yeah. Oh, I'm with Kari.
As always.
I'm just a guest.
Yeah, so do you want feel free to introduce yourself.
Sorry.
Okay. My name is. Oh, should I say my name? Okay, whatever.
I already said your name.
Okay. So my name is Prats.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to spell it because people don't even call me my whole name.
Yeah, that's true.
It's usually Pratt without the S, but it's okay. I graduated high school, and I'm working at a diner's, and that's it.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay. So today, oh my god, wait, my notes.
Ooh.
You mentioned prior to this podcast that you really enjoy like unsolved mysteries or murders and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm excited.
we're gonna talk. We have a few things to talk about. So you have a few topics to talk about.
Yeah.
Mostly me. I looked up some stuff about the Amber Alert because I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
The way it all started. It's kind of sad that it started because of that.
Ooh.
So, yeah. And then also I found this one that I was watching a YouTube video last night about it's Stephanie Sue. I'll link her down below, and then she usually does mukbangs and she talks about like murder mysteries, like unsolved cases.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting.
Ooh.
But the one I listened to or watched last night was about like cannibalism.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about that after. What are your topics?
Okay, so I was supposed to have two, but then one is scary, so I don't want to do it. One in particular is Jack the Ripper. Yeah.
Ooh.
That's the one I'm gonna talk about. And then I'll just put my opinions on Reg's ones.
Reg and Kari's.
Yeah, Reg and Kari.
Well,
Especially the cannibalism one. I have a
Okay.
lot.
well, all I have is opinions, so I don't have like actual things I looked up into because I didn't.
Okay.
Oh wait, are we also gonna talk about like the murder and like how it developed to that, or like the controversial?
Oh yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay.
So, oh yeah, I forgot. Thanks for reminding me. We're also going to talk about like kind of a controversial issues where people nowadays really like murderers. Like Ted Bundy, who's that? What's his name? Dahmer? What's his
Jeffrey
first-
Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer. People like that. And murderers in general.
Well, it's not a now thing. It's like it's been a thing.
Oh,
Oh, you're
okay.
right.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's just it resurfaces because like people find out about them and they go over through the whole thing.
Yeah, so then I kind of wanted to touch base on that because it is controversial where people do think, oh, it's, like, why do you like that? Or
Yeah.
other people are like, oh, well, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start off with that then since we're already talking about it.
Okay.
What is your take on that, Kari?
Well, sorry, I'm recovering from a loss of voice. Crap, what was the question again?
Oh my god. It was, what is your take on
the
murderers?
people who
Yeah.
are admired,
Mhm.
who admires
what
them.
what do you think? Like, what do you like murderers, or like do you like the way that they murder? Like, do you like the process of it?
No.
Oh my god, are you? Oh no.
Who?
I'm talking about like the way their mind works, the process, like what's going on in their head. Because for me, that's what I like most. I don't like them killing the person,
It's the process,
but I find it interesting
That
the whole process in their head, like what's going on in their mind
that made them
do that.
Oh my gosh, honestly.
I see.
You know,
I see what you mean.
yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the clarification. But I guess it's interesting because I really like watching CSI.
Come in your mouth.
I really like watching CSI and like Criminal Minds.
Minds.
Criminal Minds is my favorite. Like, and basically that whole show is about serial killers. And I don't know, like I really like it because like it's nice seeing like how the process of them figuring out who it is and like how they're trying to like basically they're trying to be the suspect or unsub.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they call them in the show. And then like oh shit, I'm far away. And then yeah, I guess it's interesting, but I really my God, I keep repeating the same thing. But okay, to the point, yeah.
Okay, but then what do you think about the whole like, do you understand both sides where it's like, why do people like this?
I guess, but like, it's from what I've heard and seen, the people who admire them, there's some of them like that admire them too much that they totally forget what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the part where I'm just like, why?
Yeah, because then there's this one serial killer where he was so good looking to like everyone. It's not just Jeffrey Dahmer, like there are a lot, but he literally led a cult of women because they loved him so much, and they were doing anything that they could to just like be with him or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know if like that's a mental thing too, or if it's just like, I don't know. Prats, what do you think?
Wait, you said Jeffrey Dahmer was a good looking one? I don't think he was a good looking
one. Oh, I don't know. I was just saying, because I think I meant to say Ted Bundy.
Yeah, I was about to say it.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer was like the older one.
For me, I feel like murder, it has like two perspectives, I guess. Mm-hmm. Or like two different sides of like, like what kind of murder they are. So there's like psychopathic murder. Murder.
Psychopathic mother.
So psychopathic is like, they're crazy. They'll just kill you even though like
for
you're
no
there.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one is like a sociopath. So sociopath is like, let me plan it first.
Yeah.
And like it's not killing competition. It's more like, let me see. I'll do this person, and then a couple of weeks or months later, I'll do this. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know.
I feel like sociopaths have a lot more patience.
Yeah, and then psychopaths are like, let me just kill.
Yeah, they're impulsive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then, I mean, I guess I see both sides. Mm-hmm. So like, okay, if I was a psychopath or like I was a murderer, I'll be like, okay, like let me clear up the world real quick. You know, like since there's overpopulation, unless they take pleasure into killing, that's like weird. But I mean, something could have happened for them to become murderers.
Yeah.
Like something dramatic or like traumatizing.
But I feel like that's more for sociopaths. I feel like for psychopaths, it's just either it was really such a mental thing, or like for like probably a little bit of it could have been from their past too. But I feel like for sociopaths, it's more things that happen in their past.
That's true.
You know who's a sociopath?
Me. I'm so sorry.
Guys, if this doesn't come out,
you know why.
You know why? Wait, but they're not even gonna yeah. Sorry, when you're talking about like sociopath, I can't help but think of Thanos.
Oh.
Like, you know, he basically planned on killing half of the living creatures in the world, in the galaxy and stuff.
Then he decided towards the end of Endgame, I'm just gonna kill everyone and start over.
Oh yeah. But then what's it called? Sometimes, like, when I first thought about that, like, oh my God, he's so wrong. And then there are times when I'm like, oh my God, he should have. Like, there's some.
But the thing is, he was gonna just keep all of, like, most of like his side, because like the bad people.
Yeah.
So
It's still not fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. But like, when people told me like they understand why he wanted to do that, I was like, what? Why?
It kind
But then like as more terrible people show up and like stupid people
You
like
understand
that
it.
complicate everything, I'm understanding
Yeah.
the decision.
Because then that
But like
kind of
it's not like in our power to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it,
yeah.
and it really sucks. But like that's just how it is.
That's true. Because then that also brings up the past thing, because he did that whole snap because of what happened in his past.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Sociopath. 101. So.
But yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
So, I guess that's our take on that. I mean, I find it interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever want to murder.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to, but it's just like the way they think that really interests me about it. That's
like,
it.
What really goes
Wait,
through
what's
your
that thing they like? I hear a lot on like CSI sometimes. Like they call it crimes of passion. Is that one like? It's just like it just happened.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't watched CSI in a long time.
I
I don't know,
guess.
but I hear that a lot. And,
CSI used to like
Kind of
my mom used to
passion.
be obsessed with it, and I used to watch it with
I
her.
love CSI. I thought I wanted to be a CSI, but then
Oh, they
I don't
were
know. I don't think I
similar.
I don't want to do lab work. I
Oh
think.
yeah.
But like it's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But
Just
like
like,
the thing also is like the TV shows
They
is
exaggerate
meant
it
to
too.
is meant to like be entertaining.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
that's not how it would really be.
In real life, it'll be like, oh my gosh, who's the suspect?
Yeah. So let's move on to the Amber Alert,
Mm-hmm.
which reading up on it is really sad because it started with a little girl named Amber Hagerman.
Mm-hmm.
This was in 1996.
Oh, that's
So
like not
it was a
even-
long time ago, but
I mean, but not too long.
yeah, but a long time ago.
Yeah, that's true.
January 13, 1996, she was riding her bike in a parking lot when a black van came in and took her, like snatched her.
Oh,
And there was only one witness, and they called the police right after.
just one?
Yeah.
In that whole neighborhood, just one?
Yeah, I
Right.
guess.
What?
So then the person called the police. There were about 50 police officers and federal agents on the scene looking for her.
Wow.
Because I guess that's like the first known incident,
Yeah.
maybe. And which I doubt it's not the first
First
incident, but it's the first known.
like that a lot
Blew
of
up.
people were aware
Yeah.
of and stuff.
So sadly, she was murdered.
I
5 days later, someone was walking and they saw
Her body?
Amber's body. Her throat was cut, and they said like Amber's body seemed like it went through a thunderstorm thing.
So,
like,
it was like it was
raining.
weathered.
Yeah,
Oh
weathered.
my gosh.
So yeah, that's kind of sad because that's what started this whole Amber Alert system. That's why they called it Amber, because it's named after her. And
Oh, that's sad.
it's really sad because the parents too. Those
Yeah.
5 days are probably like freaking out.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't even sleep.
Yeah,
Oh my
and they probably
gosh.
had all the hope in the world, like, oh my god, I'm gonna find my daughter. My
She's
daughter's
gonna
still
be
alive.
safe.
She's gonna be
Yeah.
alive.
But
And
then
just to get that
yeah.
phone call and be like, we found your daughter's body.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my gosh. Wait, only her throat.
was
Nothing
slit.
else.
I'm
No,
not.
nothing else.
I'm pretty sure from the article that I'm reading. No,
Just her throat.
I think so.
That's
Yeah.
That's so-
strange. Yeah.
I don't understand. Cause like if you were to kidnap, I feel like that would be a ransom, not like actually killing it in 5 days after. That's too much,
Well, I don't know, like,
especially
because
to a
mostly
kid,
like
though.
it. Yeah, that's why you can't really understand how people
That's true.
make these decisions. I mean, there's an actual like job trying to like understand and figure out what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about Amber Alert, it's so weird, but like I've never gotten an Amber Alert in the state of Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hawaii. But when I was in Michigan, I would my phone would ring like with an Amber Alert, and like my friends would be like, "Oh yeah, that's the Amber Alert. Someone's missing." And I was like, "Oh my god, I've never gotten these before."
And it kind of
was-
freaked me out when you told me that. I kind of got chills. I was like, oh my god.
I was like, "Oh wow, okay." Like, cause then like I see it a lot on like CSI and like Criminal Minds, but like I've never actually gotten one myself, and I was like
It's
looking
actually-
at it. I was like, oh my god.
So, no, but Walmart has a lot of those
Abduction.
abduction photos. So is that not an Amber Alert?
No, those are just missing posters.
Well, yeah, but what if they're actually abducted?
Well, I don't know what. So what defines an Amber Alert? Is it just like, I thought like it was just like an alert to like the community or anywhere that this child is missing.
I guess it's like for everyone to search for the child.
Because I know that there's certain restrictions where they can't just put out an alert. So parents take it upon themselves
And
to
put the
post it. So I
posters.
think that's what it is then
Oh,
at Walmart. But at Walmart, there's a lot.
I know.
It kind of freaks me out how
Yeah.
many there are.
I actually seen like 2 Walmarts and like it's almost filled out.
Oh my god.
And I was like, oh goodness gracious.
Oh, I just found something. It said, like, in the autopsy for Amber, she was kept alive for 2 days after being taken and had been beaten and sexually assaulted before her throat was
what
cut
the
and her body was tossed into the creek.
Okay,
Oh
this
my
is the
God.
work of
A sociopath,
Yeah.
I feel like. Or maybe a
Or-
psychopath. Or
Probably
paranormal?
Paranormal.
Pedophile.
Yeah, pedophile.
Pedophile mixed
who's-
with murderer.
Yeah, probably.
I
Yeah,
remember-
sociopath might be the right one.
But he killed her so quickly. Like
But
2
like,
days.
I feel like it's planned too.
That's true.
I feel like 2 days isn't quick. Like, in her shoes, like, that was probably, like, the
No,
longest
yeah.
thing. What's it called? There's a, who was it? I think it was Shane Dawson. He did, like, a video about, like, psychopaths and whatever, and, like, the definition of it, and then he met up with that person.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he met up with,
Sociopath, like,
Oh,
she studies it.
what are they called?
I don't know.
Yeah, people understand.
Yeah, like, they study the mind. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I'm blanking out.
I would
They study the
speak with
mind.
them.
Psychologist?
Psychologist. Oh, there you go. Oh my god, that would, like, totally make me
I would
upset.
talk with the psychologist. Be like, what do you think?
That's why I think sometimes psychology is interesting. But I hate reading textbooks. Like,
Yeah.
I hate reading textbooks. They're so boring. So, but I think it would be better just to, like, have a conversation with them.
Yeah, instead of
Like,
reading it and not
reading
really
it,
understanding.
yeah.
Mhm.
Because if you talk, you'll pick up.
You're
Yeah.
actually, like,
You're, like, in it.
you're,
Yeah.
like, relating to them. You're, like,
Mhm.
conversing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're actually using your head instead of just looking at words.
I know. That's why I don't like reading too
At
much
all.
books.
So that's it for the Amber Alert. I just thought that was interesting
That's
and
really
sad,
sad.
but you know, there
And
was a
then
lot
sexual
more after
assault.
that, which really sucks.
Yeah. Wait, how old was she?
She hold on. 9 years old. 9 years old. So she was
What
9.
the
And she was
What?
biking with her brother Ricky.
Wait, what happened to the brother if that happened?
Maybe he was,
Was
like,
he
ahead
the
of her.
witness? If
Oh
yeah.
no, Ricky
Oh, no.
decided to head back home.
Oh.
And then the sister was just biking by
What?
herself.
You don't bike alone.
Well, the
When-
brother was 5.
Well, that's the thing.
Oh, I thought he was like the older.
No, no,
brother.
no.
Oh. Well, that's the thing, you know, like, this knowledge of us, of not going alone, that came from something.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, it was probably this time that, like, that's when they start developing, like, curfew, strict rules, like, you shouldn't be out there,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. So, our understanding of society was because of the past
Yeah.
things that happened.
Oh my god, this just tied into what we talked in the beginning.
Oh,
Okay, so that's it. We'll talk about. You want to go with yours now?
Sure.
Okay.
Jack the Ripper. I'm pretty sure people know about it.
I've heard of him, but I
Yeah.
never actually know the story.
Oh, do you, Carl?
I do because of Criminal Minds.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I found. Okay, I didn't read it off the internet. I watched it off YouTube. So props to Buzzfeed Unsolved. They're so funny and I
yeah.
love it.
We'll link it down below.
The Ghost Hunters was his name?
Yeah.
Ryan
And Shane.
Shane.
Yeah, oh my god.
I watch him, like, I keep updated. Yeah. Okay, so for those who doesn't know Jack the Ripper, so this happened in East London. And back in that day, around like 1800s,
Oh.
but it happened like in 1888.
Mm-hmm.
So back in that day, there was like a lot of prostitute, a lot of poverty,
Mm-hmm.
and just a lot of alcoholics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he actually named himself because one of his first victim, he slit the throat, and then after he slit the throat, I think he disemboweled, or yeah, and then after that, like polices came and they were like, what the you know.
Yeah.
And then after that, it wasn't out in public yet.
Mhm.
They were just like keeping it a secret. And then a letter came to them. They were like, oh, he was saying something about like, oh, you've seen of what I've done, but I'm gonna do more. And then he will be like, yours truly, Jack the Ripper. So that's how.
Oh, so he would send
Oh.
letters.
To
Yeah.
taunt. It's like
A
the
taunting.
Zodiac.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's why it sounded familiar.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, I've heard of that because Stephanie Sue talked about it too. So I was like, yeah.
And then the journalist just took that name, and then that's how he became Jack the Ripper. But there was actually 5 victims, and it was mainly focused on women prostitutes, which is really sad. And like,
Yeah.
Well, I
what
think
the heck?
that's like he was able to do that
'Cause
because
they were-
that's like their
They're just walking out
Yeah.
and stuff. So,
So,
it's
like,
easy target.
what's it called? They called it because I'm basing everything off of Criminal Minds. They were like, I think they're like high profile or whatever.
Oh yeah.
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 So
Wait, do you know the reason why?
no,
did
No,
this
no
whole
one
thing?
knows
No, there
because
was no
he
reason.
disappeared or something, or they
So he-
found him don't
not
remember.
yet. But then like
later
on
on.
BuzzFeed, they have suspects. So I'll get to that.
Oh, like,
Oh.
but they don't have like
The-
they didn't officially find.
Yeah, it was just like
Oh.
theories of maybe this.
So
person
he
and
could still
this.
be out
Like
here,
the same
or is
thing,
he
like
dead?
with the Zodiac.
But
too.
for me, I feel like he's been dead.
Probably.
Well,
I
yes,
think
it's-
so.
it's
It's
20
been
Yeah, it's
20.
true.
the 21st
But
century.
like, it's still unsolved. But I
Yeah.
feel like it should be clear, or like it should be solved already, because it's been like
Yeah.
too long.
Well, I feel like back then, like it's not as organized. Like the systems that we have now is definitely not
That's
the same
true.
they have then. So like, things are probably a lot harder to find and stuff like that. People to find.
That's true.
Yeah.
So okay, most of his victims, like there was actually this one incident where he was killing, but then he got caught. So then like,
Oh.
but he wasn't like caught.
Oh,
I'm
like
captured.
someone saw
Yeah.
him
and then
then
he
bolted.
bolted out.
yeah. But then it's also weird because 45 minutes away, he killed another victim on the same night.
Oh, it's
Oh.
probably because he didn't get to finish.
Yeah,
That-
and then
his
that's
first-
so
that
weird because
first
I was
one.
like, why go through that struggle to do another one?
Yeah.
And then
I guess like like he had to, like it's that impulse in him.
So would he be considered a psychopath or a sociopath? I'm leaning towards psychopath
Psychopath.
right now.
I feel like both because
'Cause
he planned it.
That's true. But then if he went out to kill someone else
Else.
45 minutes later,
Exactly.
that's like
That's-
psychopathic
okay, that's
tendencies.
true.
Yeah, not
Okay.
he didn't plan on doing
Yeah.
that.
Maybe he is both.
Yeah. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Being both. And then after that, okay, and then like the fourth was slit and
On the
then
throat.
disemboweled.
Uh-huh.
And it's weird because like I was thinking like, what are you gonna do with the organs?
Yeah.
Like, are you?
What
gonna...
did he do with the organs?
I
They
don't know. Yeah, they
Oh.
don't know, and I'm just here like, what did you do with it? Cause you can't do transplant. That was like back in the
Yeah.
days. So it's just like, are you gonna throw it? Are you
It
gonna?
must have
Let's
just
go.
been for his pleasure.
Yeah.
Or like and like his
Oh my god, what
what's
if
it
he's a
called?
cannibal?
Souvenir.
Okay, maybe.
Theory?
Maybe. Oh yeah, no one ever thought like, oh, maybe he's a cannibal.
Oh really?
Yeah, no one thought of that.
Did
And
they
now we did.
did they ever find any of the organs or no?
No.
Maybe he ate them, that's why.
Maybe.
I'm sorry.
No,
Keep
it's
going.
fine. Okay, so okay, here's the last victim. So the
Uh-huh.
last victim was more gruesome.
Okay.
So she was the same thing, slit on the throat,
Mhm.
and then she was disemboweled, and then she was virtually skinned down. So it's just like, what? So she was found in her apartment. Usually
Oh.
the killings are like outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then she was in the apartment. So I was like, what the that's so for me I was like, okay, so it must be someone she knows.
Yeah.
For you to go inside to kill that person too.
Or he
and just leave them there.
That's true. Maybe maybe also he got tired of whatever he was doing because he killed people 4 times at this like almost the
And
exact
like he
same
was
way. And he's
gonna
like,
do
I want something
new.
else, you know. He's like,
Something else.
I'm gonna stalk someone and then follow them into their apartment.
Ooh,
That's like really scary.
Yeah. But then that was the last one.
Okay.
Okay,
I
so
wonder
now
why.
I'll go to the suspect. This is all from Buzzfeed.
Oh wait, I just want to point out, Prats has a whole note
filled
section just of Jack the Ripper, and it's kind of like intense.
I know.
I was just like, okay, like it was really like
Interesting.
funny. Yeah.
Mm.
So then the first person was I'm gonna butcher the name, but I'll just call him
Montague.
Montague.
Yeah, but Montague. So
Doesn't sound right.
so he was one of the
Curry.
main 3 suspects.
It's Montague.
I've seen this name before, but sometimes the G is silent.
Sometimes.
True.
But wasn't there a play?
Oh.
Wasn't there a play with someone named Montague?
I don't think that's how it's pronounced.
And try Druitt. That's the dude. No? Okay. So anyway, I'll go on to this suspect.
Mm-hmm.
So he was one of the main 3, but I won't go to the others because I feel like it's not really
Montague.
And he was also in a play with Romeo and Juliet.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Oh, isn't that the one?
I
from-
remember hearing it without the G.
Was he
To be
with
honest,
Romeo's
you
side? Yeah.
need to clean your ears.
Montague.
Sorry, Prats. We
No,
keep
you
it.
did. So, this person had an uncle and a cousin that were doctors.
Okay.
So
Oh.
that, cause
Okay.
yeah, oh yeah, I forgot. So when they did the autopsy,
Autopsy.
yeah, they were like, oh my gosh, it was professionally done when taking out the
The
organs and
organ.
stuff. Yeah. So then he lives like near the locations of the killings.
Oh.
And when he died, he was 40 because people describe like the person, oh, he was 5'5" through 5'7", and then he was around age 25 through 30.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was also, due to family issues, he was sexually insane. So taking maybe like, so for me, I feel like if he was the one, he might take pleasure in killing and like doing an autopsy.
In
Or,
the
like,
autopsy though,
disembowelment.
did it leave any like traces that he raped the girls?
Oh, no, they didn't say anything about
No, I
sexual
don't think
assault.
so. Yeah, cause sorry,
The mic.
I'm stretching my legs. So I have to lean against the wall to make room. But I will talk as loud as this. Hopefully, it will pick up from the microphone. But what I learned from Criminal Minds, I probably shouldn't trust the TV show to for this knowledge, but that's all I have right now. Like, they say that, like, killing is their pleasure. Oh, thank you. Killing is their pleasure. Like, they don't have to do sexual acts.
Yeah.
But that's what gives them that pleasure, is through the killing. So,
That's like their
yeah.
other way of stress relief, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
or pleasure release.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And then, okay, here's the other suspect that I think was like...
How many suspects are there?
Let me see.
Well, there's a lot.
I'm just focusing on 3 because I feel like it might take too much time if I do all of them. So then, the other one is Jill the Ripper,
Jill
which
the
is a
Ripper?
girl.
Oh.
Yeah, 'cause, like-
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because, so Ryan was like, oh, since people have been thinking of it like, oh, we need to look for a man. What if it was actually a woman?
Oh.
Yeah, so back in the days, there was this one detective. Oh my gosh, I'm so fob. So there's this one detective in the days, and then, like, he thought of, like, oh, what if it was a woman dressed as a man?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, you know the incident where he did 2 killings at one night?
Yeah.
He actually walked away, and then, like, there was already a bunch of, like, polices around. So for him to have that much courage is just, like,
Yeah.
to walk around after a killing.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Does he have any
disguise.
emotions?
Emotions?
For him to just walk like that?
I'm not sure. But, okay, here's the thing about why I think maybe it was a girl is because back in the days, midwives, it would be normal for them to know like anatomy and
Yeah.
like them having blood is like, oh, that's normal. Like, what if they were
Yeah.
just like doing
Yeah, yeah.
something? So that's one, and then the last one, I feel like this is the one, but I don't know why people like, cause sometimes usually people would go through like the most stressful moment when it can like be like the most obvious.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. So his name is Joseph Barnett, or
Barney.
Yeah.
Since Kari wants to
Jo-
do invisible
Joseph
letters.
Barnett. So he lived with the final victim.
Oh.
Yeah.
The
So
one
I
in
was
the
like,
apartment.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, that's already like, okay, one.
Yeah.
You're a suspect already. And then he lived around the killings. And he may live in 10 different areas near the locations.
Oh,
of the killing.
10?
Yeah, like that's probably like, oh, maybe, you know? And then, so this is weird. So him and the last victim, her name was Mary Kelly. So they were actually roommates. But then for him, he was like, oh, she's my wife. So
Is that what he said?
yeah, like his wife. So I was just like, okay. Oh yeah, by the way, this is all from Buzzfeed, but I'm like also giving my opinion.
Yeah.
So don't hate me. And after, oh yeah, he was also a fish porter. So like basic.
He has like knives.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he has knives.
Oh,
And like
okay.
gutting them could result to
Yeah.
like, let me dissect. And then so his I feel like this is the killer because he had a motive.
Yeah.
Because
On the
people
last
was like,
one.
yeah, because people were like, what was the motive from the beginning? But now it's just like, oh, on the last one, that's when the motive actually popped out.
Oh my god.
Or
I
like
have
maybe the first few victims was practice.
Oh my god, I was just about to say that. I have
Really?
a theory.
Yeah.
It was like maybe he was practicing on other girls first. Then he was gonna do it on the final. Because like you said, that girl was the final one, as far as
Yeah.
we know, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he was just practicing on those other girls to get it perfect, and then he was able to do it with that other one.
Okay, but then so then the thing about that
Okay.
is he's in love with her, but he won't kill her because he was trying to prevent her from going on the streets because she was a prostitute. So he worked hard for her so that she doesn't have to get out.
Yeah, but maybe he got fed up because did she like him back? I don't think
For
she
sure
did.
not.
Yeah.
But there was actually, but then like, what if he was doing the killing to scare her? You know, that's one of the theories. Like, oh, I'm gonna scare you so you stay inside.
But then
Yeah.
why did he kill her then?
Okay,
Maybe,
so
yeah.
the reason was that they were fighting about something, and then there was this one day where she brought in 2 other prostitutes, and then he was angry, and then both of them were fighting. And then I think he left the house, and then 10 days later, 10 days later he moved out, and then that's when Kelly was found dead in her apartment. But like it was gruesome to skin down the person, but then at the same time they described like, oh, her clothes were folded nicely and she was wearing a nightgown on her bed.
That's weird. So he moved out.
Yeah.
And then killed her.
I agree. I think
killed
this
her.
might have been.
Yeah.
I think I agree with that one.
But I don't
think-
know why. And then so after that, 4 weeks later, after the last murder, he was found dead in the water. He probably
That's
drowned.
suspicious. What if he just couldn't take the guilt?
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't deal with this.
Maybe.
And he just killed himself.
Maybe but then, I think that's the end already. I think it's case
Solved.
yeah.
I think so too, because
It's so obvious, but at the same time, maybe they're like overthinking.
yeah, because like
Yeah.
what Kari said, it wasn't as organized as it is now.
That's
so
true.
they probably, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure
This,
from what you're
this seems
telling
very
us,
solid.
it's like
Case solved.
yeah. I mean, we're not detectives or
Yeah.
anything,
But,
but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Thanks to Ryan and Shane. Mostly Ryan.
Because if he killed himself right after that,
Yeah.
like he felt
There's-
he probably felt guilty.
Yeah.
Either that or he couldn't live without the girl, so
yeah,
he's like,
that's
oh,
that's the
Let me
other-
live with her somewhere else.
yeah,
But like,
Probably won't meet up in the same place.
yeah.
oh yeah, you're right. The thing is, what was I gonna say? Oh, frick. Okay, wait. Oh, yeah, the thing is that after he got killed, we can't really solve it now because, like,
Mhm.
there's no descendants. He didn't have any
Right.
sexual
Yeah.
relationship with anyone,
Mhm.
unless he did. But I don't know, basing off of, like, him killing himself or
Mhm.
him drowning, like,
He
doesn't-
drowned.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the water. He was found dead in the water. But, like, we don't know anything about him that much. But I wish they could have dig more into him. So to
Yeah.
find out, like, oh, did he have any families? Did he have
Mhm.
any relationship? To
It's-
see if he has any kids.
It's so weird because there's a lot of cases where it's between a male roommate and a female roommate.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the times, the male roommate tends to fall in love with the female roommate, and then it
crime.
doesn't go well, and then the male is just like, hey, I'm gonna kill you. Since we can't be together, you can't be with anyone else.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
It's just so
Some
scary.
psychopathic stuff. But yeah, there was this one last one, but people suspected this dude to be the one because he had a diary of like, okay, the diary was like, oh, it had the finest detail of how he killed it, and it was exactly how he killed it. But the
Oh.
reason was he was far away from the location.
Hmm.
But then I don't know.
Well, I feel like okay, so it's either. I think I heard about this one. Him, like-
James Maybrick.
yeah, that he, the diary,
Yeah.
because it was so detailed that
They
it had
think
to
it-
be
yeah.
him.
But still, if you look at the evidence, it has to be the other dude.
But then also,
What?
a lot of times, people back in the days, they also like to keep track of things and make stories out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people like tend to write stuff out in detail as if they were that person. Maybe they were obsessed with that person. They're like, oh, I want to write a
maybe.
story about this. I want to write a story about that. I want to know whatever was going on in that guy's mind. So maybe he was keeping it for that. I don't know. Theory,
Maybe.
but
Yeah, that's true.
How
'Cause-
about this one? So, maybe the guy that killed himself or that drowned, maybe he really did get upset with her and tried and killed her, but he tried to disguise it as if it was Jack the Ripper's fault. And then the real Jack the Ripper
was the
is
guy.
the guy with the diary. Because, everything with the roommate is different. Like,
That's
her
true.
clothes were folded.
That's true.
And she was skinned. Like, it's so different from, like, the rest.
But then it's exactly the same as like slitting the throat and disembowel.
No, but maybe
But
that was
that
he was
information
trying
was
to-
given.
yeah.
Oh.
He was trying to place it on Jack the Ripper,
Rippers.
but it was him.
And then that guilt of killing the person he loved,
He killed
he
himself.
killed himself later.
Did the guy have anything else in the diary about that victim, the last victim?
No, they only said like it had the finest detail of like how the victims were killed.
Up to which victim though? Because if he didn't write anything about
about-
the girl,
Yeah.
Well, it didn't specifically say.
damn.
But then people were thinking like, oh, maybe he already killed 11 victims.
Oh, like
But then they
more
only focus
found.
on 5.
Oh.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh, maybe.
I like that theory.
Yeah,
Kari.
I never even thought of that when I was like looking through.
Oh, you actually did something.
Because
God.
I watch Criminal Minds.
Maybe
like
you're
we're
a
detectives.
sociopath.
No, I'm not.
Oh, wow. That's why you can fit into their minds. You know how they think.
No, Criminal Minds just trained me well.
Then she getting prepared.
Wow, I didn't even think of it like that.
Damn.
That's kind of
Oh, wait, but
weird
then
now.
Back in the days, traveling is really long though. If you were to go from this far location to this other location.
That's true.
But then also, the farther your victims are from you,
The more likely they won't suspect you.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
The only reason he got caught was because of the diary.
But then there was actually this. Okay, something about the diary. There's this guy who found it and he actually made stuff up.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Added stuff to it?
Yeah, because his marriage was falling apart, so he needed to do something.
Oh.
So some of it might be fraud, but some of it might also be real.
Oh.
So that's the thing. See, people, we need to look into these people to solve it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like props to Buzzfeed Unsolved. They gave me all the
The
all the
deets.
suspect. Yeah, they gave me the tea.
That was really interesting. I like that
I
one.
like Kari's one.
Yeah, I
where
like
it was
that
like,
theory.
what if
Plot
he was imitating?
twist.
I love it.
So now since you're done, we can talk
Yeah.
about cannibalism.
Yeah.
So I don't remember the guy's name or any of the names, but the gist of it was it would happen in Germany, and they had this online like forum post thing called Cannibal Cafe.
What?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
That's
Germany?
weird.
Yeah.
When was this taken?
I forget. I don't know the
Hopefully
details
it's back in
again.
the
I was
day.
just watching
Alright,
it.
pause before have you guys ever watched like that Hostel movie where like people who are backpacking through Europe and then they stay in this like hotel kind of thing, and then turns out like people are getting murdered like
Ooh.
in each room or something. It
I
was like I can't watch it because it was too gory, and I don't like watching movies like that by myself.
Oh,
Really?
oh my god, we should watch it then.
Ooh, edition.
It's like it's almost like Saw, but like it's not like.
Oh god, my hands just got really sweaty.
Honestly, though.
Okay, so yeah, they had a Cannibal Cafe forum where everyone would just talk about, oh, I really want to know. Like, no one's actually done anything. Like, no one's actually killed someone and ate at them, but they always, like, posted stuff like, oh, I really want to know what that tastes like.
Ew.
Like, what does human flesh taste like? Like, I want to cut a penis and try and, like, fry it and eat it. And that's so disgusting.
That is.
And people, this one guy
Yeah.
posted on the forum and said, hey, let's have a dinner, but we will eat your penis.
Ew.
Yeah.
He actually did.
So-
he actually do it?
I'll get to that.
Oh my gosh.
So
ew.
someone replied, a lot of people actually replied to him and said, hey, I'm down to do that, let's do it. But luckily, at the last minute, they're like, oh, you know, I don't feel comfortable anymore. I think this is just a mind thing. I don't feel like doing it. You know, I don't want to actually do it. So he was respectful. He's like, okay, you know, that's fine. You don't have to do it.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people, when they were doing interviews and they were interviewing the people that replied to him, they were saying, oh, he was really nice. He was really understanding.
What?
But this one guy went through with it. He's like, okay, let's do it. So they were at his house. He cut off the penis. Just cut it. That's it. Well, he took 20 sleeping pills and some other medication, so he was really tired, like drowsy and
But then-
tired. The victim.
Oh, wait, but then what about the dick?
No,
What
no,
happened?
wait.
Did they sew it up?
No. So he took the pills first,
Yeah.
and then the guy cut it off, and
But
he
then
cooked it.
What about the process of like?
No, he didn't
stitching it
care.
up? What? He just left it
He
bleeding.
just like, as far as I know, he left it bleeding.
Oh my god.
It was just bleeding out. That's why he was that's why he just, you know, the guy was on sleeping pills. So but yeah, so he cooked the penis and then he served it. The guy was like, "Hey, you know, it's a little chewy. Can you cook it more?" And I was like, "Oh my god, that's what you're worried about? The texture?" So he went back. The guy cooked it and it ended up burning up and it was burnt. He fed it to the dog.
Ew.
He fed it to the dog.
Poor dog. How dare them?
I know, right?
That's some animal cruelty
And then-
right there.
Kari's face.
This is so nasty.
This is really
Then-
messed up.
After that, he set up a bath for the guy that was bleeding out. He put him in the bath, and
Chop them up.
we're gonna call the guy Greg. Greg went back to read a book.
What?
He was reading Star Trek. That's it. He was just reading. Then he would check up on him every 20 minutes.
Is he dead?
And then no. And then
Okay.
after like a few more times, he went back and he just stabbed him because he's like, you know what? We'll just end the pain. And he stabbed him. He just killed him.
Ooh.
Then he put his body. We'll call the other guy Bob. He put Bob in the freezer.
And
he was eating the body for like 10 months. He hid it behind pizza boxes.
Ew.
So he kept eating the stuff.
Ew.
I know.
Wait, you actually had to butcher that thing. You know how thick
Yeah.
our bones are?
I know.
for you to chop and like not even
And like
stop.
a full-grown man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Ew, cutting off the. Did he actually?
That was
Wait,
soaked in
if
his
he-
own human water.
If he was. Oh my gosh! Wait, if he
Ew.
chopped them up and eat the whole thing, he even eat the head and the hair.
I don't.
Ew.
I'm pretty
Ew,
sure.
you eat the eyeballs and the
no,
tongue.
no, no.
Ew. Oh my gosh! And the nose. Hold up.
Oh my god.
Oh my god,
That's so
no, that was just so
nasty.
gross.
Wait,
but
if he does eat everything, did he even eat the organs then?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, liver. No, never mind. Okay, my opinions on this.
Nasty. Nasty. That's my opinion.
Nasty.
Nasty. Nasty people. That's so.
Kari couldn't even like stomach the story.
It's just- So he was already into cannibalism.
He was, yeah, and he was the first one. No, cause okay, he had another victim, I believe, and he recorded it.
Ew.
He posted it in the Cannibal Cafe forum, and then this one college student like called the police. He's like, "Hey, you know, this is really
There's a
weird because
murder."
we usually just talk about doing it, but we don't actually do it. But this guy actually did it, so like, can you arrest him?" So they arrested him,
Okay, is he dead?
and I think
What
the
they
other
do?
guy, the other victim that he got was dead, and the other guy was dead too because
Oh
it's
my
already in his
God.
body. He ate it all.
Wait, that's technically murder.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. So he went to court and he was only charged first for manslaughter. That's it.
What?
How do you get manslaughter for this?
I don't know, but then they tried to put him for trial again, and then he was convicted for first-degree murder. So he went to jail forever. Because
Okay, that's
if you're convicted for manslaughter, you're only there for like maybe
Couple-
20 years.
Yeah, not long.
But then for murder, you're actually there for
Your
life. So
yeah.
luckily, he's in jail.
gone.
He's dead.
But like, what if someone? Because most people, you know, back when we were talking about murders
Mhm.
and like people who admire murders, what if there's someone who's just like, oh, I like how this guy thinks. Let me be a cannibal too.
That's true. I'm pretty sure there's more people like
Like
that,
that.
which is
Oh
really
my
gross.
God.
Like, why would you want to do that?
Like, were you satisfied when eating the meat? Like, ew.
I
That's,
don't know why they.
I'm pretty sure our meat isn't as
I
juicy
can't wrap
as
my
ours.
hand around people that would want to try
Yeah.
human meat.
I just know that like culturally, like in some ancient
No, yeah.
cultures,
Mhm.
it was
they
a
actu-
it was like a sacrificial thing. But that's
Mm.
the only time they did it. It wasn't for like
Fun.
or
It
for
wasn't for
their
a meal.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Or it
'Cause
was a. It
I
was
know
part of
there's
their thing.
there's still a tribe somewhere where they actually do eat
Oh my
humans.
What's it called? There's that movie. I think it's called Green Inferno. Like it's a bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh-huh, I know what you're talking
I
about.
want to watch it, but like I'm gonna be grossed
I
out.
would want.
no.
What is it called?
Green Inferno.
It was in the jungle, right? Or
Yeah,
like- yeah.
the Amazon jungle.
Green-
I can't.
Pretty dense, but not gonna be soon if we don't
Ew, he
stop all
looks
these tree
weird.
cutting.
2013. Oh, never mind. Okay, like cannibalism.
Yeah. What's your like? What did you think? What's y'all's opinion on that?
I already said mine.
Yeah,
Nasty. Prats,
First things first. I don't
I'm not
know.
really.
What went through their mind to think? I mean, I feel like curiosity led them to
I
be
feel
like,
yeah,
let me see how we taste.
but you know, curiosity kills the cat.
That's true. But still,
He
like
died. So
animals are okay, but not
I
all
mean,
animals.
you know, yeah.
But like humans, that's like ew.
Like humans like eat like shit.
Yeah.
Gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Like you
Ew,
really
if you-
wanna. You really yeah.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, I feel like this dude literally fried it, not just freaking steam. Oh my god, he could have made fried rice
What's
with
that
that.
movie with Hannibal Lecter? Hannibal.
Wait, but I think
But-
it was Hannibal. But I don't know.
Hannibal?
Hannibal? I don't know.
Annabelle turned cannibal. Movie
A
idea?
movie idea? Hello.
Um,
But the fact that they had the audacity to cut it up, butcher that.
no,
thing,
the fact that he had the audacity to just eat it.
I know, for 10 months. Damn, that's a
Yeah.
long. He probably fed it to the dog too. Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God.
Poor dog.
I like how we care about the dog more.
But then to be honest,
It's nasty.
that's where dogs kind of came from.
That's true. But still, it's just
I mean, they
Oh,
were-
the
gross.
Silence of the Lambs.
It's gross.
And Red Dragon.
Even the dude saying, okay, you can cut up my dick and we can eat it. Ugh. And then you
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
got yourself killed.
Yeah. Stupid person.
Yeah.
That's on you.
Stupid Bob.
That's, I mean, we went through all the topics already. Do you have anything else to add?
What's your guys' intake of all of these crimes?
Tell us what your favorite unsolved cases are, because then we might go and talk about it. Yeah, we might.
Yeah.
We'll probably do it again and
Yeah.
talk about it.
I need to stretch it out. I can't feel
You're
it.
leaning on my thing.
I can't feel my legs.
I can't feel my legs. You don't see me
Me
stretching
too.
out.
Look, my toes are like literally numb. They can't move. Stop.
Oh.
My God. It's like, when your feet is like literally numb.
Tingly.
Yeah. I feel that right now. That's what I'm trying
Pins
to
and
do.
needles.
Don't forget
This.
to
Oh,
subscribe.
yeah. Do that. This may have been the grossest
Yeah.
episode ever. But
Yeah.
it can be interesting.
Yeah. That's just.
That's why I
cool.
saved
I
it to
don't-
the end, because
Yeah,
then
it
that's
was-
really gross.
Uh,
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
You.
props to BuzzFeed Unsolved again.
Props to Tiffany. Props to Stephanie Sue for your very interesting mukbang. I can't believe you ate and talked about that. I don't know how you did that. But yeah, thanks for listening. We'll be back again. Oh wait, after this we'll be back with May or Kylie to talk about the next episode of Escape the Night.
Oh.
So that's exciting. Expect that probably on a Saturday. If you haven't already listened to our previous podcast,
It was with May.
it was with May about Escape the Night.
Also.
Episodes 1 and 2, we did a recap and talked about who we would want to win.
Okay, don't forget to hit that like, that
And
subscribe, and that notification bell. So
Okay,
you get
Prats.
notified. And then don't forget to give your suggestions down below.
Yeah.
And then thank you for having me as a guest. I'll be back.
Yeah.
You will. Okay. Bye.